Tonight, President Trump says he wants to talk to Bob Mueller. He says he's looking forward to talking to Robert Mueller, but his lawyers now say there is no way you should talk to Robert Mueller. So what happens if Mueller not only keeps asking, but even subpoenas, and Donald Trump says thanks, but no thanks? What are the risks here for both men on your screen? We're going to find that answer out from a former U.S. attorney and our legal panel. Then, the Joe Prococo corruption trial could all come down to today. The government star witness, Todd Howe, under withering cross-examination. That is, Prococo's team tries to paint Howe as a crook and a liar. We're going to get a live report from the federal courthouse in Manhattan. And later, one arrest for putting her feet on the seat of a commuter train, another for complaining that the officer who did it was out of line. Was the LAPD just enforcing the quality of life of concerns, or did they go too far? We'll play the tape so you can decide. Evening, everybody, and welcome to RFL. I'm Richard French, and thank you very much for spending part of your Wednesday evening with us. Well, we will going to get to the stories I just teased in a moment, but first, the latest on the efforts to avert another government shutdown. And believe it or not, there may be some hope tonight, albeit a little bit. D.C. facing the possibility of another shutdown at midnight tomorrow night. Again, just 30 hours away. That unless lawmakers can strike another deal, albeit temporary, and get the president on board. Again, a challenge. Now, this afternoon, word of a deal in the Senate that could stop the shutdown clock. The only question now is, can it get enough votes to make it to the president's desk? And who the heck knows what happens then? Let's bring in our senior political correspondent, Andrew Whitman, with the details. And Andrew, at least a return to a not too distant past where the Senate at least could get things done, kind of.
Yeah, but there are still a lot of questions in the House, and the real mystery is what's the president going to do? But we'll get to that in just a second, Rich. The last shutdown happened because the stopgap spending bill could not get through the Senate. This time the problem may be in the House. Here's what the deal, which has the backing of both Mitch McConnell and Chuck Schumer in the Senate, would do. It would fund the government through March 23rd and push the debt limit back past the midterm elections. It would also add $400 billion in new spending for both military and domestic spending, both of which have been constricted since the sequester deal back in 2013. The deal also adds money for disaster relief and funds community health centers for 2 years. But it's what's not in the deal that could leave it short on votes. Nothing for DACA or the Dreamers, which Democrats want. Nothing for a border wall, border security, and no changes to immigration law, which Republicans in the White House wants. President Trump, you remember, said just yesterday he wanted a shutdown if there was no deal on changing the immigration laws that he does not like. Today, Press Secretary Sarah Sanders said the White House is happy with the direction of the deal, but she did not say if the president would sign it if it got to his desk. Nancy Pelosi says she's a no, and other House Democrats may be as well, because the deal does not help the Dreamers. She wants a commitment from House Speaker Paul Ryan that DACA will get an up or down vote in the House. And in a highly unusual maneuver in the House of Representatives, Pelosi has been speaking on the floor of the House since 10 this morning, telling the stories of Dreamers and pressing Ryan to promise a DACA vote. This is a live picture. She remains at the podium and continues to speak, relaying the story of these Dreamers. Again, that's been going since 10 this morning. It is reportedly the longest single speech in the House floor since 1909 or earlier. Some members of the conservative House Freedom Caucus, by the way, have also noted their objections to the deal. They don't like it because they don't like the increased domestic spending. And there's no word on when or if either chamber will actually vote on this deal. But Rich, the clock is ticking. As you mentioned, less than 30 hours now until the government runs out of money. So we should start getting some votes at some point along the way just to find out if this thing's got a chance or not, or if we're looking for another shutdown.
So let's go to the players. And I think you said it well here. You've got some of the hardliners, Democrats, who said, wait a minute, we keep getting promised it'll happen. Well, March isn't too far from us. That's the DACA deadline here.
And Democrats got a promise in the Senate that they would get an up or down vote. That was part of the last deal to reopen the government. There has never been a deal in the House, and Paul Ryan has never promised a vote. Part of that's because he's not sure he can hold his caucus. Republicans in the House are actually more split on immigration than you might think. There are a lot of hardliners, as you would expect, but there are also, like Republicans from our region, Peter King and Leonard Lance probably don't want to have to cast a vote on immigration or on DACA. because they're going to offend one group of their constituents one way or another. But they're not alone in this. Think about Republicans in Arizona or New Mexico or Texas. They also don't want to have to make that tough decision and then go back to their district and face voters this November.
But I'm wondering, and I get why he wouldn't, but wouldn't Ryan, part of him, say, you know what, let's do a clean vote on DACA so I get this off my plate? Democrats overwhelmingly will do it, and the Republicans that are in the safer districts, they'll do it too. It polls, Andrew, at nearly 90%.
No, it does.
So just as a standalone issue, forget what the president says. I could see this happening. Now, let's just say, hypothetically, it gets through the House. It's a loaded question. I'm not even trying to be a wise guy. Do you have any idea what the president would lean to do and the messagings today from Sanders? I asked that because you said it. He says, I'd love a shutdown here. No one says that out loud. But what does he really
I don't think they know yet. I don't think the White House has coalesced around a position on this if it gets to the president's desk. He'll also want to wait and see how it comes out. But the other variable in this is Mitch McConnell. He supports this deal. He took to the floor of the Senate to support it, but he's not going to. He'd rather not put the president in a position where they pass a piece of legislation not knowing what the president is going to do and put him potentially in a position of having to veto a bill that he's signed on to. Makes the president look bad, makes Mitch McConnell look bad. That's been his approach pretty much since Trump took over.
But you and I both know we don't have the luxury of time.
Right.
As we said off the top, 30 hours and less now.
Well, then it becomes a game of chicken trying to figure out who wants to and can handle a shutdown the least.
Is you're talking maybe another CR here, just extend it another few days?
This is the CR, to extend it through the March 26th.
But I'm just doing a plain one just like they did before.
I haven't heard about it, but that's the kind of thing you might start seeing midday or late afternoon tomorrow if it looks like you're running into a shutdown with no other deal on the table.
This brinksmanship is getting old.
Government.
Yes, Andrew, thank you very much. All right, when we come back, Trump and Mueller. Is this the start of a standoff that could head all the way to the Supreme Court? Well, the president says, well, depending on the day at least, he wants to talk. He's eager to talk here. His attorneys say, whatever you do, don't do that because they know he's got a problem telling the truth. We'll dissect what happens next in either of the scenarios and a lot more after a quick commercial break.